October 7, 2024, the Nigerian stock market wrapped up favorably with the all-share index up by 0.19%, despite a 3.7% decline in market volume to 308 million shares on Friday. The ESI gained 1.16 points to close at 97,706.70. Through the day, Fidelity Bank's strong gains kept the momentum going, while Tantalizers had the highest trading volume, closely followed by UBA. Bemini Shopeju, who is investment research analyst at Zcrest Wealth, joins me now to discuss this further. Bemini, good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Abby. Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. Let's begin with Nigeria's stock market posting impressive gains. What can we attribute this to begin with?
Okay, so yesterday we saw that Fidelity Bank released their pre-tax report, their pre-tax earnings report for H2, and as the increase in non-interest income, the increase in profit after tax for Fidelity Bank kind of boosted investor sentiment into Fidelity Bank stocks. And as we have opined throughout the year, or throughout this year, we've been seeing more of a mixed sentiment, given the fact that earnings of, especially banking sector earnings, have been on the high side, with non-interest income growing, interest income also growing as well. So profit after tax we've been reporting triple-digit profit after taxes for almost all the banks, and that has kind of bolstered earnings in the all-share index.
All right, that's very impressive to get, but let's move now to Access Bank securing a Namibian license. What should we know about this?
Okay, so in terms of Access Bank, you have already opined the fact that Access Bank has been on an expansionary sentiment, given the fact that the bank has a plan to expand not only into Africa, but also diversify sort of income around the world. So this expansion into Namibia is just sedimenting the reach of Access Bank into the South African market. So that's the update on that.
Yeah, but we do know it's a provisional license as well. What should we know about it being provisional?
If we see, if the Central Bank of Namibia, I'm sure there's a lot of regulation that has to go behind it. If the Central Bank of Namibia feels like Access Bank is actually trying to help boost the railway sector in Namibia and also boost AFCFTA sentiments in Namibia, it would obviously try and give Access Bank a more permanent role in Namibia.
Right, absolutely. And of course, talking about Access Bank, we've also seen acquisitions of ARM pensions quite recently. And then Namibia, as we know, is a very sizable, has a very sizable banking sector, and it's a growing economy. So win-win for both parties, I would say. Well, then let's move to Fidelity Bank, 200.8 billion naira pre-tax profit. What can we make of this?
Okay, so it's not far-fetched, given the fact that most banks in Nigeria, almost all the banks in Nigeria, have been reporting triple digits growth in pre-tax profit and profit after tax, or profit before tax. So given the fact that we have seen increases on the non-interest income side, so that's fees and commissions income, we've also seen increase in trading income because of the fact that, like you said, MPR rate is currently at 27.25%, and we are seeing yields on auctions like OMO at about 24%. So all of that is bolstering banking earnings. So all that is allowing Fidelity Bank to post this level of profit before tax.
And in terms of outlook, do we expect for this to be a continued update?
Yes, we do. So given the fact that, at the beginning of the year, most of the banking earnings were majorly skewed to the fact that we had unrealized FX gains from the devaluation of the Naira. That was at the beginning of the year. But now we're beginning to see more growth in more sustainable forms of their earnings. So we are seeing growth in fees and income, commission. We are seeing growth in, given the fact that interest rate is high, we are seeing growth in their trading income. So we expect this to be sustainable till the end of the year. Okay,
so there's a generally positive outlook on there. And of course, we saw the bank's net interest income surge, like you mentioned as well. So it's really been a good trajectory. Well, let's look at CBN. We've earned 1.3 trillion naira from the banking system in September. What's that all about?
Okay, so anybody that listened to the last MPC meeting would know that the CBN governor is more of on a hawkish stance, given the fact that he wants to withdraw any liquidity in the system. So he has already opined the fact that given the fact that he has increased CRR rate, like you mentioned, to 50% for the deposit money banks, and for the merchant banks, he increased it to 16%. So all of this is as a result of him wanting to suck out money from the system, given the fact that they still feel like liquidity in the system is still high. So they've been floating almost, after the MPC auction, we've seen 3 almost after that. And we are still seeing another treasury bill auction tomorrow where 81 billion is being sold. So we still expect to see money being sucked out of the system, given the fact that liquidity is still high.
So we can expect to see a greater liquidity boost just
greater
based on what we
crunch,
have for NTB and OMO maturities.
We expect to see a greater liquidity crunch in the...
Well, I mean, the CBN's actions have certainly had like a notable effect on the money market as well. And it's good to see this, but overnight policy rate and open buybacks, what effect will it have on that?
Okay, so I mean, right now, overnight rates are back on the overnight and open repo rates are back on the 30% levels. So we should still expect it to trade this way for the near term, given the fact that the CBN is still on a hawkish, very hawkish stance. So any money that comes to the system in terms of like FAG, anything that comes to the system, the CBN is probably going to like take it out immediately. So we should still expect to see overnight and open repo rates being this range bound at 30, given the fact that we still expect liquidity crunch.
So we've had generally good news all around so far, and we hope to see more as we go. Bemini, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I've been talking to Bemini Shopeju, who is investment research analyst at ZCrest Wealth. Thank you for joining the Global Business.